Aziz, Shalom, Assalamu alaikum wa alaikum salam. This is the app called Stereo. Ramel Ohim has really good talk shows. If you want to check out the Stereo app, download it. It's no ads in it. It's free. And tune into this name right here, Ramel Ohim. And I think you'll hear some pretty good conversations, and you could also key in and send your own opinions, and you can almost talk also. I mean, initially you'll be listening to two people talk, but you could also put your opinions across and get the conversation going in another way, which is very interesting. But yeah, check it out. This is it. So what I want to do is, what's funny is that my last video was called The Noose. The news is getting tighter. In case you didn't realize what I was trying to compare the word news and noose, strangely enough, are very, very similar phonic-wise, and I find it to be coincidental. And if you understand what a noose is, N-U-S-E, I think it's fairly evident with everyone walking around with Daffy Duck rubbers on their face. It's a funny thing. Everyone looks like monkeys. Yeah. Again, I'm going to say it to my grave. If there was such a thing floating around in the air for many hours, your eyes would have been absorbed it. And at the same time, pay attention. I keep hearing people say, I have someone who died of it. I have someone who died of the Daffy Duck syndrome. Yeah. I pointed out something because just today my landlord, someone close to them also went to the hospital and died of COVID. And I already know what's going on. So I specifically asked her, I said, did they go to the hospital because they had symptoms? And she said, yes. And did they die in the hospital? Or did they die before? And no, they passed inside the HOSP. Yeah, they died inside because they injected it with something, and then they call it, you know what, Daffy Duck syndrome. I hope that's very clear. In other words, many of you people have a lawsuit. You don't realize it for wrongful death, wrongful classification. On top of that, you can't know what's cause of death. Over just because someone dies there like that on the spot. So anyway, I'm sorry, I didn't clear up my landlord's the relative died of a heart attack, but they said it's COVID. But now see how it's twisting? Now they're saying the Daffy Duck syndrome causes complications that it could give you a heart attack. It could cause diarrhea. It could cause a headache. It could cause anything, it would seem. So they're classifying every death as a Daffy Duck syndrome. And that's not fair. That's not right. It's clearly a manipulation. And I'm really hoping people are seeing this for what it is, because this is the greatest hoax on mankind. And it's deep. It's got everybody. It's got almost everybody. Again, I don't know. I'm starting to think it's really more of a scare tactic. I keep trying not to say we have constitutional rights, because technically we don't live by the Constitution. They will laugh at you if you go into court and say, I've got constitutional rights. I was laughed at, literally. The judge smirked. I'm sure if her morals were any worse, she would have just outright laughed. But I caught her smirking the first time I ever went to first time I went to the fake court, family court. And I said, don't I have constitutional rights? And literally she smirked. She put her head down to hide her smirking, her laughing, her holding back. And I was just like, wow. Of course, I didn't know what I know now. If I did, obviously, I would have gotten that way back then. But this is where, again, when you don't have the right knowledge, you make the wrong decisions. And I'm a good example of that. I signed a piece of paper thinking I'm getting a DNA test, and I read it all. I thought I read it correctly, but I still didn't know what I was signing based on my knowledge. So I signed my life away. You could almost say I sold my soul, because signing is a contract. You signing, S-I-G-N. Remember that G is silent, and it's not sign, it's sin. You're sinning. You're not only you're sinning a contract. Hear that word con? Con in front of tract? Tract. Tract has a meaning too, by the way. Tract means, I think, T-R-A-C-T means a large group of trees or something like that, or something like a large abundance or something like that. I forgot. It's interesting. You should look it up. I'm not going to look it up right now, but it also has a meaning too. But you have a con in front of that word tract. Oh, it's deep. It's deep. Look into it. I think you'll blow your mind. But you're sign a contract, sin contract. When you break those words down, what they really mean, it's kind of scary. It's a horror film. But anyway, I really wanted to point this out because what's funny is that this guy here, High Impact, I never used to watch him, but we're all on the same page right now. And that's why I think I've been watching him. I've been catching his little episodes. Again, I'm not going to take any credit for it. This guy, this is his channel. I'm just showing you what he actually found on the internet. But really why I'm showing you this, because check out this coincidence. It just so happens he's talking about the news. And he uses the word noose at the end of it. And I thought that's practically the title of my last video. News and the noose. News, noose. It's deep. It's deep. He literally says it. I'm gonna let it play here, and then I'm gonna show you a video. I've seen these kind of videos before, but I've always wanted to capture one of these. And what he's pointing out in the video that he found on the internet is that these people, they edited news agencies from all around the country, specifically talking about Joe Biden being clean. And if you pay attention, almost all the news anchors, all the news channels around the country are saying the exact same words, word for word, literally. There's no independent writing. They're clearly all being manipulated. And this is what I mean about the news being a noose, or the noose being the news. Either way, it's the same difference. It really is. They're straight out. I got to be careful what I say. I got to be careful what I say, literally, because that thing that detects words will take me off, and they're probably going to take me off of this video for saying some of the things I already said already. But just pay attention. Check this guy out, and check out this video. I'm going to play it for you real quick. And it's kind of funny. Check it out. But also, pay attention to what he says about what I'm saying about the news and the noose. Here, I'm going to turn it up. And pay attention to what he says first, and then I'm going to let you, then I'll play the part that he's playing.
Building the gallows, marching mainstream media up the steps, putting the noose around their necks, and dropping that trapdoor. Check this out.
Putting the noose around their necks and dropping that trapdoor. He's talking about the news. You hear that? If you want to hear the whole thing, just go to his video. This is him. This is the title. Gotcha, MSM. And it's talking about Joe Biden and his nonsense. I don't care about none of it. I just like pointing out the obviousness in the propaganda, the misinfo, that our so-called moral news government all take part in. And this is it. This is a good example of it. This is not a conspiracy. This is just more proof that many people will just say, oh, whatever, too. As long as they got their jobs and they got whatever it is. You ain't got nothing. Trust me, we're all going to find out soon if this keeps going. But here, check this out. Wait a minute. Oh, by the way, check this video out. I've been watching it. I'm going to get to this in my next video. But this is pure propaganda. pure propaganda. I'll tell you why, actually, but not just yet. I want to play this video for you first because I just lost it. That's the video. And it's going to play the...
I just want to deal in fact, because there is so much speculation out there, and there is zero evidence that Hunter Biden or Joe Biden did anything wrong here.
We should note, again, you and I have said this on the air many times, there is no evidence that Joe Biden was, involved in any wrongdoing.
Of course, want to note that there is no evidence that Joe Biden or Hunter Biden has done anything wrong. I just want to reiterate.
And let's be clear for the viewers.
There is no evidence Biden did anything wrong.
I'll note again, because it's important,
There is no, I repeat, no.
there is no evidence that either Biden did anything illegal.
There's been no evidence. There was no evidence.
There's no evidence. There is no evidence.
There is not an iota of evidence.
No evidence Biden did anything wrong. There's really
No evidence.
That Joe Biden
did anything wrong.
Nobody's ever accused there's no
Evidence whatsoever that Joe
Biden did
anything
wrong. Got that? Joe Biden did nothing wrong. Hunter Biden did nothing wrong.
Now there's evidence. Watch this.
Biden's secret emails.
A really fishy story.
The Post claimed that the emails were found on a laptop computer that was brought to a repair shop in Delaware in the spring of 2019.
The FBI is now investigating whether those alleged Hunter Biden emails are actually connected to a larger foreign intelligence operation.
They may be related to a foreign intelligence operation.
Foreign intelligence operation.
Foreign intelligence.
Foreign intelligence.
Foreign intelligence operation.
For all we know,
Avalanche.
these emails are made up.
The information found on the laptop may
Watch
be
how it
part
changes
of a Russian
now.
disinformation campaign.
Part of a Russian disinformation effort.
Described by many intelligence experts as having hallmarks,
All the hallmarks
All the hallmarks of a Russian
For Russian disinformation.
Russian disinformation.
disinformation campaign.
This is a classic example of the right-wing media machine.
Don't drag the intelligence community into this. Hunter Biden's laptop is not part of some Russian disinformation campaign. The intelligence community doesn't believe that because there's no intelligence that supports that.
That was just fantastic, man.
You see what they're doing? That's what they're doing to us. That's literally what they are doing to us. And we are just putting on them Daffy Duck rubbers like it's gonna do something. If there was such a thing floating through the air, your eyes would have been absorbed it. And if you went to the hospital with symptoms and you come out dead, I really think that should be looked at a lot closer. Those who have ears to hear what I'm saying, as far as lawsuits go, there, well, is what I heard on one of these channels, that there were major lawsuits all around the country for wrongful death, wrongful classification of death. I say look into it, because it, again, takes a coroner at least 2 weeks to tell you how a person died. I don't see how they're doing it overnight. If you don't see anything fishy or smell anything fishy in that, I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what to tell you. But again, I'm trying to do my part, man. This is not cool what's happening. It's changing our social, I mean, what was left of our social, I have no words. I mean, I guarantee there's plenty of people who could explain perfectly. I can't. I wish I did. I wish I had those flowery words to explain what I'm seeing, what I'm experiencing. But if many of you are comfortable with it, I guess that's fine. I'm not going to make you feel uncomfortable with it, but there's something wrong with it. And I don't know. We got to put down these cell phones, man, and start looking each other in the eyes again and really, really connecting again. Put down the cell phones, man. Don't get me wrong. I know some of this it takes a cell phone, but there may come a time where this is not here. And you know what? I'm not even going to get into it. It doesn't matter. I know what I got to do. And I take none of this as a fantasy. None of it is a fantasy to me. Everything, all part of this is real. What I say, I practice to my fullest, the best what I preach. Doesn't mean I'm not a hypocrite. Doesn't mean I don't make mistakes. It just means I'm doing my best to walk that line, because I know there's more to this. I know there's more to this, and I don't mean more to this as far as conspiracy goes. I just mean more to this as my soul. My soul is the more to this. And I believe we have a choice. I truly believe we have a choice. Go to hell, go to heaven. But I'm going to skip both of those. I think heaven and hell is actually reincarnation, is what I think they're really trying to say. I think that's what the Bhagavad Gita is trying to say. But Krishna says, those who are aware come straight to me. And I want to escape this cycle of rebirth and reincarnation. That's what he says. That's what it says. Many doctrines actually say that. And you don't realize it. Even the Bible actually says it. But you need to learn how to interpret it, and many of you don't. I mean, the Bible does say, thou shalt not kill, you know. That doesn't mean humans. That means living beings, animals. Eat meat all you want, but we're not supposed to be killing them. Thou shalt not kill. Think about it, okay? But I could go all day about this stuff, but you know, it doesn't. Yeah. Anyway, I think that video that you just saw is from. That's where this is. So you can find that video, and I think he's got more like that, showing all the news. You know, they're practically that, newsbusters. And they'll point out some obvious truths that I think people should be aware of, and you'll see the psychological warfare that's going on here with us, our neighbors, our fellow Americans. I mean, it's deep. It's deep. The noose is real.